What's up, folks? John Hodgeman here, Global Watchdog. Making this little video of a step-by-step process of what is called chemtrailing. Massive spraying a day. And I want you to realize with the use of barium, aluminized strontium, silver iodide, and God knows what else, the metal particulates they're spraying in the sky are trapping the heat in. Now let's think about, they're using aerosols to hold this up. And what have we been blamed for over the years for this facade of global warming, which now they're changing to the name climate change? How convenient, as they've been discovered to be mistaken, if you will. But aerosols and carbon release, from our vehicles and our plants, nuke plants, power plants, is what we have been blamed on. Just like all these tornadoes just happened. These poor kids trapped in a basement, drowned to death. The fires, all the fires we just had and we're still having, massive fires. Colorado, Arizona, all up in the West Coast, everywhere. They specifically said we are to blame for this due to our carbon emissions and aerosols. Now let's think about that. If aerosols are bad for the ozone, that has diminished, possibly to the point of no return, why the hell are they spraying them thick, almost daily, in our atmosphere? See what I'm saying? All this talk about a withering magnetosphere causing extrasolar activity to hit the Earth. Well, wouldn't aerosols depleting the ozone be about the same effect? With the lack of shielding, our natural ozone shield that we rely on, that creates weather and keeps our solar activities at bay during an 11-year solar cycle that we're in solar max right now. Wouldn't that defeat the purpose? And let's take carbon emissions. We know we should have gone green a long time ago. But why aren't they pushing? Germany's doing it. France is doing it. A lot of countries are doing it. Solar panels. Especially an 11-year solar cycle, shouldn't we be taking advantage of this and storing the energy thereof? And still, you watch TV and you see the latest Suburban and Tahoe for sale, or the latest diesel. Well, who owns automobile industry? And who owns the oil? And who owns the media? Think about it. If they were trying to help us and we were to blame, then why are they still pushing this? Trying to make people feel a lack thereof insignificant if they don't have a big badass truck to drive to work every day. We're being duped. They're purposely depleting our ozone, which in turn has caused all this Arctic meltdown. The Arctic meltdown's releasing methanes and algae and killing our ocean. The Gulf is a dead zone now. And more oil, back to the oil thing, is being released, and natural gases and methane is being released into our ocean. our atmosphere. I truly believe that their plan, this Agenda 21 connection, is to depopulate. You know, I got a saying that a good shepherd not only uses his dogs to contain the sheep, but the environment as well. And when I say good shepherd, I don't mean like the good shepherd in the Bible. I mean someone who controls the sheep. The dogs would be the military, the taxing, negative aspect. They have purposely destroyed our ozone. Now they're purposely fracking everywhere, which is making the ground porous and collapsing. We're having sinkholes everywhere. Poor guy in Florida, north of here, goes to sleep in his bedroom and falls down a 100-foot hole. Never to be recovered, not even his body. There's holes popping up everywhere. Russia, all over America. It's this methane thing. Whether they're trying to purge it or purposely cause the repercussions, I think it goes hand in hand, actually. We got the bayou sinking. This shit is no accident. They're not warning people of the real deal. And as the glaciers melt, it's called glacier rebound effect. As the glaciers melt, the weight comes off areas for millions of years that's been there, and it moves to other areas that aren't ready for it, and compromising faults, which encourages all these global earthquakes we've been having, unprecedented. It's like they're following the Bible verbatim. And I'm not quite sure why or how, because they know how it's supposed to end. But what they're doing is they're using the premise of God as a guise to cause all these things. And it's only going to get worse. You know, think about Germany was at its wit's end when Hitler came along and saved the day for him. Hitler was actually backed by a Zionist agenda, which the Zionists took over Israel, and didn't like the idea of not being the true Israelis, or not Israelis, I'm sorry, the Israelites. Yeah, the Israelis. And hired Hitler after they ruined the economy there. People were starving. They hired Hitler to come in and save the day, and got them to kill all those Jews. Well, our economy isn't doing so good. A lot of people speculate that it's about to fall right to the bottom. It's a similar agenda, only instead of Jews, it's going to be humanity this time. Anybody that's not the 1% elite, also connected to the Illuminati. We got to get the word out, man. We have to tell people what's going on. They know that something isn't right. Many of them figure ignorance is bliss, I guess. But this whole thing's going to slap us all in the face if we don't try a little harder to get the word out. Just take a look now how this is spread out. That was all chemtrail lines, as I've been showing you, like over there. Now it's spread like a metal particulate roof. It's going to trap this heat and cause further meltdown. Then they use the fake cloud activity to conjure up storms. Hawaii's about to get nailed. I don't think they want to nail America like they did in the last few years with hurricanes, because there's another plan. That plan is major water, folks. Flooding out the Mississippi, flooding out the Great Lakes, areas of Canada, Mexico, everywhere. Once again, under the guise of God's work. We got to come together, people. We got to let the truth be known. This stuff is disheartening. It's maddening. But we got to get mad right with it. They say the seas will turn black. I've never seen my canal so black. I got dead vegetation everywhere. This core exit they sprayed in the Gulf was much worse than the oil itself. All a part of the plan. Look at all this dead vegetation. I'm selling my boat motor. The Gulf is doomed. And you got to realize the oil in the core exit goes airborne, and it's toxic to breathe. Besides, the methane itself is too. But once those chemicals and the oil get up in the marsh and the beach areas, it dries out and becomes airborne. People are breathing it. It's going to develop more and more cancers and mutated babies. Chemical death. Fukushima is doing a lot worse than it was, to the point where everybody's actually aware, and those of us who pay attention, and they're actually admitting to this stuff. But it's getting to the point, kind of like Obama's birth certificate, where they're just right in your face about it. They just don't care if you know anymore. But anyways, this is John Hodgeman with lots of love for you guys. Global Watchdog. Peace out.